Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Mosballin. So today, you guys all probably know already, you guys were watching me, a lot of you guys on Twitch. I appreciate everyone that stayed with us. We were playing for like almost 5-6 hours. Great stuff, yo. I've been helping you guys out. You guys been helping me out. We've been talking a lot. We've been doing a lot of things with these new Spotlight sim cards. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, they added a bunch of new Spotlight things where basically it's 5 games. You got to play 5 of them. We're going to talk about all of them, what you guys got to do, how to make them better, how to win, where you should start. Honestly, there's a lot of questions that you guys be having, so I'm going to try my best to help you guys with the experience that I've gotten, make all these games easy for you guys. I know some people were struggling. I helped them out, so that's what we're here to do today. Now, what we're gonna begin with is, what are the requirements? What do you need to start any of these? What do you need to play any of these? What do you need, whatever, right? So first off, we did 2 teams so far. We're on our 3rd, so we basically know how these work, what the formats are, and all that good stuff. I started with the Bulls just to start with them. First game is rookie 3-minute quarters. That's the same for every single team. 3 minutes, rookie. You need to use 3 players from the team. So we are doing the Bulls right here, so we needed to use 3 Bulls players for the first game. So what kind of players do they have to be? Do they have to be regular players? No, they don't have to be from the current collection. They don't have to be from the Series 2 collection. They could be any ones with the Bulls logo. Now the thing is, they have to have the current Bulls logo. So Bulls logo has been the same, so you're chilling. But other teams such as the Hawks or the Bucks or some of the teams that have their logos changed, you cannot use the card that has an old logo. Like, say for example, you're playing the Cavs, right? If you have an old LeBron James, who's like basically the glitched one, he has the old Cavs logo, he cannot play. You would need to have a Cavs player with the new logo. That's just something to keep in mind. Next game, you'll be going into 4-minute quarters. 4 minutes, still on pro difficulty, which is the W. So you go from rookie to pro, which isn't a big difference. It's very simple. Now this is where it changes per team. So some of them have win conditions, some of them do not. We'll take a look at some of the new win conditions, like the different ones. But for example, you have this one, you need to get 10 rebounds as a team. So make sure you're checking them out. The win condition is actually what I'm covering. So let me get out of your screen right now. You see it right there. It says win the game and get at least 10 rebounds. So that's something you have to do. Make sure you're checking. Every team has at least 1 win condition, maybe 2. Now in this one, you do need 4 players from the team. Keep that in mind. We go into the 3rd one, which becomes all-star difficulty. Now all you need is 5 players. It's 4-minute quarters still, and you need to win the game, right? There's no real conditions. Some teams are different. Like I said, maybe it's your 2nd game or the 3rd game that needs the conditions. So make sure you're checking before you get in the game. If the game starts and you're not sure, if you click up on the D-pad, your stats show up on the top right corner of your screen. On the top right corner, it shows you the stats for the player that has the ball. Once you do something, it will say you did it 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10. That's if there's a challenge. So for example, this one right here, since I have my stats usually at the top right, whenever one of my players gets a rebound, they'll be like 2 out of 10 rebounds completed. So if you're like me and you're just trying to rush through these games, you're trying to play them as fast as possible, you just want to get them over with, they're boring, you're just trying to play. Sometimes you don't read the win conditions. So if you have that up, it'll save you some time just in case you mess up and don't know they have something. It should show you if there is. Now game 4 is superstar difficulty. This is when it starts getting harder, but it's very simple to win these games. I'm going to show you guys the best method to win all of these games, so you don't have to replay them or do anything like that. So right here, 5-minute quarters, this is when it gets really long and grueling. This is 6 players needed. So something that I've told you guys a million times, you could click square and see the team you're running up against. So if you click it, you see you're playing Opal KD, Opal Kyrie, you see you got a Diamond Spencer, Pink Diamond Levert, and Amethyst DeAndre Jordan. Like, you can always check what teams you're playing against. I'll show you guys the team I've been running. But what I want you guys to know is the 5th game is Hall of Fame, and you need 10 players from the team. So, like I told you guys, you do not need 10 players from either of these collections. I'm just going to show you guys what cards you guys could be looking for, because I saw that prices have changed tremendously on a lot of these cards. And what do I mean by that? If you go to the Atlanta Hawks, you find any of these cards in collection, you'll see they're all going for a lot. Like, prices have went up insanely, and you can check and you can see, and that's just the case because everyone's trying to do these. Cam Reddish is one of the best cards you should be grinding for. A lot of people think you need these cards, you need that, so they're all trying to lock this in. Not lock it in, but they're trying to get enough players from there. They're trying to get a lot of Hornets players, whatever the case is, whatever teams are cool. So one team that's really important is the Hawks. A lot of people have been doing this Cavs one. That's one of the ones I did. The Cavs one is pretty big too because Kevin Porter Jr. is a beast. So what I want you guys to know is you don't need players from here. You don't need just players from here. You could get any players. They could be heat check players. Look at moments players. Some of the moments are going for less. There's moments players here, so moments of the weeks. These prices have went up as well, so just keep that in mind if you guys are trying to sell cards and make some MT. I sold a couple cards. We got some MT, so keep all of that in mind. You could be using players in here as long as they have the new logo. Remember that. They have to have the new logo. You can't use players with old logos. So this is the old Pistons logo. I would not be able to use him. Just keep that in mind. But once you look at some of the other teams like this, same logo, you know what I'm trying to say? So keep all that in mind. You might have players on your team that already have it, like the Mavs logo here. I have a bunch of Mavs players right here that I could be using and definitely be helpful. Suggestions on the team. What do I suggest? I suggest you use evolution cards so you don't get bored. That's just one suggestion. Another really big suggestion so you don't waste a lot of time. I know one way I was wasting so much time in the beginning is I would play the first game, just only have 3 players. After that game, I'd go ahead and add 4, then 5, then 6, and then I'd have to add 4 more for the last game. Then I realized, hey, why don't I just like be ready for the next game? So I added the whole bench with the team that I'm working on. So right here you see there's 8 cards from the Atlanta Hawks because that's the team I'm working on. I have a Hawk player with a diamond contract that I'm using. Make sure you're using players that aren't good, that don't cost a lot of contracts, and then you can add one more maybe in the last game or just have them on the team anyway. What I would do is I'd use 5 guys I'm comfortable winning with, and then for the last game I'd have to use 2 from that team. So sometimes the 2 from the team aren't that good. Against the Cavs, I honestly had no good players, so I had to use a Ruby and an Amethyst, and they did what they had to do. Other than that, mainly I've been using a bunch of evolution cards that I never had a chance to grind. It's given me an opportunity to grind them now. They're getting a lot more points, a lot of this, a lot of that, especially in the rookie games. I'm going to show you guys how to beat the games later on because they do get a little bit harder. I'm going to show you guys every step-by-step I do. Make sure you guys have a decent coach or a good coach if possible. Definitely does help you guys out, and you guys are going to need the Nets playbook for the play that I'm going to teach you guys. I know a lot of you guys know it, but we'll continue to talk about some of the other things that you guys need to realize. So before I get into my next game, I just want to say these are the 2 cards I got so far. One of the cards I definitely recommend is Cam Reddish. One thing I do want to tell you guys, if you guys don't have a lot of the cards from like a certain collection and they're going for a lot, you have other options. You can try to maybe get one of the cards from the rewards, like the Emerald rewards, the Sapphire rewards. If you take a look at some of them, they have cards for a lot of different teams. So make sure just the logo is the newer logo and not an old logo. Double check that before you invest some of your tokens into that. But that's definitely something I suggest if you're like missing a player or 2 and they're going for like 10k and you don't want to do it. Otherwise, just buy the card, sell it right back. If you're actually trying to save your tokens for something else I do recommend is just take a look at what players you do have, like a lot of that team. So what you could do is you go here, once you click R1, and you could keep scrolling through like the tiers of the cards. If you keep going, you'll see teams like you'll see the 76ers, you have the Bucks, the Bulls, the Cavs, the Celtics, and this is where I go to check the players that I have that I'm going to use. I always scroll to the right and use like the bad players first for contract purposes. So once you guys can do that, if you say for example don't have all the Hawks players or you don't have all of these, go ahead and check what team you have a lot of. Get those out the way first. The other cards are going to go down in price eventually. Like everyone's going to be done with the Hawks soon. They're going to be done with the Cavs soon. They'll sell those back. Prices are going to go down and you guys are going to be good to go to get those done. Now, why are you guys getting these done? We already talked about that, so I'm not going to get too into that. But if you have no idea what's going on right now, quickly, I'll show you the rewards. We have Spotlight Sims. Once I complete the whole East, I will get this Pink Diamond Siakam. If I complete the whole West, I will get a Brandon Ingram. And once you complete both, you will get a Galaxy Opal James Harden. How many hours is this going to take? At least 50 to 60 hours, somewhere in between, depending on how you play. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into game 3 right now. What I was working on is the Hawks, the Cam Reddish First game, all I had to do was win the game. Second game, all I had to do was win the game. Game 3, I need to get 10 rebounds. So some of the challenges you have to do is rebounds. There are some assist challenges. I'll show you guys a challenge right here for the Cavs. Game 2, I needed to score at least 50 points. I'll show it to you guys right there. It says score at least 50. So that was one of the challenges I had to work on. That was pretty easy. There's another challenge where you have to hold a team to 60. Good way to do that is just hold the ball. Try to slow down the pace so they don't score that many points. They don't have the option to. And now it's time to show you guys how to score at ease every single time, no matter what team you play against. Literally no matter what team you play against. You could be playing against the best defensive team, the best offensive team. Like, this team is so hard. Look at it, man. Galaxy Opal Dwight, Galaxy Opal AD, Glitch LeBron, Avery Bradley, all that, and there's no problem at all beating these teams with this play. So we're gonna do this quick. As soon as the game starts, we go into our game plan. We go to offensive settings. You scroll down, you go to play selection, you click X. Now here you click square. It says remove play, so you remove. Now you have two options. If this is your first time doing it, I suggest you put it right here. It'll be really helpful for you guys. You put quick through STS as your play. Once you do that, you click triangle to assign it to a player. So me personally, I assign it to someone I need to score a lot of points with. So for example, I'm going to use Jay Richardson. I'm going to click X on him. That means that play is assigned to him. Now right here, what you do is you come out of there and you're ready to go. This is basically the one play you need. It's in the Nets playbook once again. And once you get that play down, you will not lose another game, I promise you. Well, unless you don't play defense, and that's on you. That's not on me. Now, good ways to play defense. You have a lot of options. You could try to on-ball and maybe learn how to on-ball better if that you struggle with. You could off-ball in the paint. You're playing a computer. So whatever you decide to do against the CPU, that's on you. I'm not going to tell you anything differently. I'm not going to say anything. I'll give you guys one suggestion in a second. But for right now, what do? I give Jay Rich the ball. You click L1. You click L1 again. And what happens? It tells you where to go. So it tells me to go here. It tells me when to click X. I click X, and then he cuts to the rim. It is a bucket every single time. You could easily score 60 to 100 points running that same play over and over again against the same team. Very, very simple. One thing I will give you guys the tip on defense: go to your matchups if you're going to struggle against a guy. So right now, Miles Bridges is the best card in the game. I'll change my best defender on him. And then say, for example, you're playing Steph Curry. So you would want like a bigger guy on him or whatever the case is. Make sure you're changing your matchups. It definitely helps you out a lot, especially against the CPU. Now right here, as you guys see at the top right or whatever, it might be left on your screen. I don't know where it is. But you see that it said I had 2 out of 2 rebounds. And that's something really good to know. So we're going to click L1 again, L1, it tells you where to go, it tells you to pass, and you're just going to see the play develop every single time. You could throw it as a lob if you feel comfortable with that player catching a lob, or you could just pass it and let him dunk it, lay it in. He should be wide open every time. There are little situations where the play doesn't work. Just reset it. I'll tell you guys the best way to make sure it works pretty much. And that is very, very simple. You just wait for it here. Make sure you wait till it develops. The further you are out, the better, because he actually has an opportunity to beat him up the court. I hope that was helpful, guys. You guys see there, I got my 3rd rebound. But yeah, basically that will be it for today or whatever is going on. I'm going to grind out some more cards. Hopefully get this Siakam done by tomorrow. Nah, I'm just kidding. This is going to take a while. It really is. But we're going to be grinding. If you guys want to follow us on Twitch, we do stream there or whatever the case is. And of course, guys, if you guys have any tips on anything at all, make sure to let us know. You see there, 6 out of 10 rebounds. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. One good tip is maybe holding the ball the last minute of every quarter, so like the time actually doesn't just stop every time you score. Other good tip, I noticed someone didn't have this on. So if you go to options, settings, make sure these are on never, the action replay and the camera cuts, because those just waste time in the game. So make sure you have those off. Best of luck on your grind, guys, and I will be seeing you guys later. It's been your boy Mosballin, and Ballin' out.